Most people believe they understand women. They think it's about emotions, or romance, or communication, but from a psychological perspective, that belief is the first misunderstanding. Because what women say, what women feel, and what women protect internally are often three very different things, not because they are dishonest, but because their inner world has been shaped by social conditioning, emotional labor, and survival psychology. Today, I'm not sharing myths. I'm not sharing stereotypes, and I'm definitely not sharing manipulation tactics. What you're about to hear comes from psychology, attachment theory, emotional regulation research, and years of observing patterns in real human behavior. These are 5 psychological truths about women that are rarely spoken out loud, not because they are secrets, but because they are deeply personal. Listen carefully, because understanding these doesn't just change how you see women, it changes how you show up in relationships. Emotional strength is often misinterpreted as emotional fragility. One of the biggest psychological misunderstandings about women is this. People assume that because women express emotions more openly, they are emotionally weaker. In reality, the opposite is often true. Psychological studies consistently show that emotional expression is a sign of emotional processing, not instability. Many women don't just feel emotions, they analyze them, track them, manage them, and regulate them in real time. From an early age, women are socialized to read emotional cues, manage social harmony, de-escalate tension, take responsibility for how others feel. This creates a form of emotional endurance. Here's the part rarely said out loud. Women are often tired, not because they feel too much, but because they are carrying emotional awareness for everyone else. When a woman says, "I'm fine," it doesn't always mean she's hiding pain. Sometimes it means she has already processed it internally and doesn't have the energy to explain it again. Psychologically, many women don't want someone to fix their emotions. They want someone who doesn't minimize them, doesn't rush them, doesn't get uncomfortable with emotional depth. Emotional strength doesn't always look loud. Sometimes it looks quiet, composed, and exhausted. Women notice patterns long before they mention problems. One of the most important and least understood psychological traits in women is pattern recognition. Women are often highly sensitive to changes in tone, shifts in behavior, inconsistencies between words and actions, emotional distance. But here's what they rarely say. By the time a woman brings up a problem, she has usually noticed it for a long time. This isn't nagging, it's data collection. Psychologically, many women go through 3 silent stages. Stage 1, observation. They notice something feels off. Stage 2, internal rationalization. They give the benefit of the doubt. They explain it away. They wait. Stage 3, emotional confirmation. The pattern repeats enough times to feel real. Only then do they speak. So when someone says, "Why didn't you say something earlier?" the honest answer often is, "I did, just not out loud." This is why dismissing early concerns can be damaging. Because when a woman finally verbalizes a problem, it's rarely impulsive. It's usually the result of accumulated emotional evidence. Women fear being too much more than being alone. Here's a truth that surprises many people. Many women don't fear loneliness the most. They fear being perceived as too emotional, too needy, too intense, too complicated. This fear doesn't come from nowhere. Psychologically, women receive subtle feedback throughout life. Don't overreact. You're being dramatic. Calm down. You're asking for too much. Over time, this creates emotional self-monitoring. Many women learn to edit their feelings, delay their needs, downplay their desires, not because they don't have them, but because they don't want to overwhelm others. This is why some women stay silent longer than they should. They are not unsure of their needs. They are unsure whether their needs will be respected. Deep down, many women are asking one silent question. If I show you all of me, will you stay? Understanding this changes how you listen, because reassurance isn't about grand gestures. It's about making emotional space feel safe. Women often love through actions, not words. Popular culture focuses heavily on verbal expressions of love, but psychologically, many women express care through behavior more than language. This can look like remembering small details, anticipating needs, offering emotional support, adjusting their own comfort for someone else. The secret here is subtle. Many women show love in the way they adapt. They notice what matters to you and quietly make room for it in their world. But here's the part rarely admitted. When this effort goes unnoticed or unreciprocated, it doesn't just hurt, it creates emotional withdrawal. Not anger, not confrontation, withdrawal. Psychologically, women often stop giving before they stop caring. And when that happens, people are confused. She changed. No, she adapted for too long without feeling seen. Love isn't just about being affectionate, it's about being attentive. Women don't want perfection, they want emotional consistency. This is perhaps the most important truth of all. Despite what social media suggests, most women are not looking for perfection. They are looking for predictability. Psychologically, emotional safety is built through consistency, follow-through, emotional availability, integrity between words and actions. Many women can handle flaws, mistakes, even conflict. What they struggle with is uncertainty. Mixed signals create anxiety. Unclear intentions create emotional fatigue. Inconsistent behavior creates doubt. Here's the unspoken truth. A woman feels secure not when everything is perfect, but when she knows where she stands, when communication is honest, when emotions aren't weaponized, when presence is reliable. This is why emotional maturity matters more than charm, and why small, consistent actions often mean more than big promises. These weren't secrets because women are hiding something. They are rarely spoken because many women learned that. Explaining their inner world often leads to being misunderstood. Vulnerability isn't always met with care. Depth isn't always welcomed. Understanding women isn't about decoding behavior. It's about respecting emotional complexity. And if there's one thing psychology teaches us clearly, it's this. When someone feels emotionally safe, they don't need to hide who they are. If this video made you reflect, share it with someone who listens, not just hears. And remember, emotional intelligence isn't knowing what to say, it's knowing how to stay present when it matters most.